A lot has changed when it comes to rackets and tennis looking back at these photos, and that is absolutely the case when it comes to the new Yonex V Core 98 Plus. We're going to break into this extended racket, tell you all about it, starting now. For this play test, we decided to string the racket with Yonex Polytour Rev 1.25 at 53 pounds. Polytour Rev is a shaped polyester, which is an excellent fit for this spin generating racket in the V Core. So we kept the tension a little bit lower, which I think could be a good thing or a bad thing. I was still getting that excellent arc and shape on the ball, but I think with the difficult racket and the longer length, I was spraying a couple, so it made it tougher. If you go with a plus racket, let us know what tension you're finding confidence with and where that perfect range is. Cosmetically, this might be one of Yonex's best paint jobs and colorways. It has the same colorway as all the other V Cores. You have accents of red and blue with some darker black colors. It is a matte finish, so it has an excellent, feel to the touch. And I think that if you're the type of player that likes to match strings to the rackets or have the overall look make sense, you have great options to use within this color scheme. So it is great accents in which they've moved away from the full red racket to put a little bit more diversity into it. And I really like this new update. If you're looking for the standard V Core 98 review, we have done that, but this model is the plus or extended model. The real only difference, it's gonna be the same cosmetic, the same beam, the same string pattern, all of those fun things, but it's going to be 1/2 an inch longer, and it's still the same handle size, it's just longer throughout the whole racket. So instead of being a standard 27-inch racket, this one is 27.5 inches, which is a big bump up, and it changes the swing weight a little bit, but just about every other spec, cosmetic, etc. will be identical between this and the V Core 98. Many of the pro players on tour will have an extended racket, and in my humble opinion, I think it's meant for the pro players. It is quite difficult to command and control a racket that's longer. It seems like a small difference, but it is a huge performance difference. And I found in hitting this racket, my biggest obstacle was controlling speed. So if I wanted to hit a comfortable rally ball or something easygoing, a consistent shot, I was struggling to decelerate the racket head speed. But on the plus side, when I wanted to hit something aggressive, dominating, finishing the point, it was effortless with this racket. I can put away just about any ball with a mere, mid-range swing without going too hard and overdoing it. So if you want to add racket head speed for effortless power, this is the way to go. If you want to slow it down to try to get those angles, increase consistency, it can be tough with a longer racket. In this video, you're gonna see me hitting some slices, and it's an absolute shame that my back was to the camera because I was smiling the whole time. It was pure, it was effortless, it was buttery, the ball was just coasting through the air, and that's that plus racket taking the weight off and making it easy for the player. So if you do use the backhand slice a bunch, if you have a one-hand backhand, if you like that kick serve, flat serve range, then the plus racket has a lot of benefits for the player. Another difficult part about this racket, as I said in the video, it is demanding, it is meant for a high-level player, so it will pertain to some of you, but not all of you, is kind of dealing with difficult shots and timing. So if I set up my feet and I had an easy shot, this was doing the work for me and it was paying off and it was making it effortless. If my opponent hit a high level shot, something on the rise, something stretched out, it was nearly impossible to time this on the difficult movement and the fast pace. So you're really gonna get that response back when you miss hit and miss the sweet spot, or if you miss time and hit the ball late with a plus size racket. One misconception when it comes to longer rackets is that you will get longer reach. And although that is a ½ an inch, it's not really the case for all of your shots. That might be 1 in 100, 2 in 100, but that's not gonna be your every stroke that you hit on the court. The bigger change is going to be the swing weight and the actual racket head speed that you get. So being that it's a longer racket and further from your hand, you're gonna get much more racket head speed. It's going to be comfortable and easy on the elbow, and it's going to feel effortless. So that is the big takeaway with a plus size racket, more so than say reaching that drop shot or hitting a shot out wide that you normally couldn't get. Volleying with this racket, I found personally tough for a tall player. I'm 6'2", so I already have a pretty great arm reach. So if I'm playing singles, I think I would do excellent on the serve and volley, where I can get huge singles line to singles line coverage and really make it tough on my opponent to pass me. But in doubles and warm-ups, I find like I get much more body blows and shots at the body, where it's hard to get out of the way, to kind of pull my arm in and to retract this very long racket. So it is both sides. It's up to you whether you want this to help on your height or you're more of a singles player. Then it is a great choice. In doubles, if the ball's coming fast at you, I think it's tough to get out of the way and get some solid sweet spot.
The scores for this extended racket are quite similar to the standard, with the obvious benefits and negatives of a plus size racket. Better racket head speed for those who can generate it, typically rated 4.5 or higher, would see more power and spin and even control from the baseline. The easy swing weight and flex is an added bonus for anyone with an ailment. Net play scores were lower, with a difficult sweet spot and contact point on this further disconnected from your hand frame. We must discourage this and all extended rackets from young players and teens, as the small difference would seem seismic to them. Similar rackets include the Solow Whiteout 305 extended and the Rare Plus racket from Babolat, as they are hard to find and not frequently manufactured. If your technique and timing is on point, we certainly recommend you try this plus length world and see why just about all top pros incorporate this into their game.
If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much, and we have a bit of a challenge for you. If you can find a current production rare racket that you haven't seen reviewed and you want us to review, let us know in the comments below. Rarest racket will be our next video.